Since the Steam Deck's reveal, it's drummed up a lot of excitement. Following its announcement, people have started comparing the device to the Nintendo Switch. There have been various arguments made that the Switch and the Deck are not even in the same market. They're after different audiences, and the Steam Deck's appeal is niche. I'd like to delve into these perceptions as I think it's a vast oversimplification of what are the Steam Deck's competitors and its core audience. First, let's discuss the Switch, as people are either on the side that the Switch and the Deck are competing and are super similar, or they are nothing alike and are entirely different markets. The Nintendo Switch launched with massive appeal for a number of reasons. There are many people who only play console games, as well as people who only play handheld games. This console bridged the two, selling to both markets, offering a great home and on-the-go experience. The system also released at a good time. It offered PS3 and 360 level graphics, and the PS4 and Xbox One were underpowered hardware, only minor jumps in performance and visuals comparable to the previous generation. This meant that games coming out at the time could run on Nintendo's handheld as well. Many people, myself included, would prefer the Switch version of a game because it meant I could play the games portably or at home. There would often be compromises, but as long as there wasn't a huge hindrance, I found myself gravitating toward the Switch version of a game. The Switch became a haven for indie games to be played mobilely, and every first-party Nintendo game ran great on the system. As we jumped into the next generation, however, the Switch's shortcomings became more apparent. Third-party games would sometimes dip into 20 FPS, and the Switch version of games would often be muddy and low res to get to run on the system. Hope was starting to rise for a Switch Pro, similar to the new 3DS, PS4 Pro, or Xbox One X. A mid-generation upgrade that could hopefully mitigate some of the issues people were having with the Switch. A Switch Pro never came, but people still love and play their Nintendo Switches. Now let's talk about the Steam Deck's announcement and launch. The Switch had already proven that the hybrid model of a console handheld was very desirable. The Steam Deck marketed itself as such, showing off that it can dock and have the ability to play with many different controllers as well as use a keyboard and mouse. The system itself uses SteamOS, a Linux-based operating system that will allow people to just pick up and log into Steam and play what they want. The system is comparable to the power of the PS4 and Xbox One. With an 800p screen, its amount of power could play most modern games and run great doing it. Because of its hybrid model, many people compare it to the Switch, and some calling it the Switch killer. For the record, I don't really like when new things are announced and people start saying it's going to kill some other product. This was a ridiculous notion to begin with, as the Switch is currently the 5th best-selling console of all time. No one can take away its value. However, once seeing the announcement of the Deck, I pre-ordered one as soon as I could. I was personally tired of third-party games running poorly on the Switch, and now I can have the best version of the game, modding capability, and can bring it around in a portable. On top of all that, you can't beat Steam's prices for games. For me, and I'm sure many others based on the response online, this is the device I will be buying third-party games on. The Switch is now just an exclusive machine to me, and I think that's more where the competition comes between the two. The main benefit of getting a Switch versus a Steam Deck copy of a game is to have a physical copy, which very much matters to me, but not to the point I'm going to ruin my experience with a game. I can play a game in handheld mode, then pick up my PC using Steam Cloud saves and be right where I was. Now that the comparison is over, I want to get into the audience of the Steam Deck. I think a big chunk of the audience is those who want a better handheld experience playing third-party games. Another is those who want access to Steam's library of games. Steam has games spanning across all generations. People waiting for a Switch port for, say, Sonic Adventure, it's on the Steam Deck. You can play it there. I know there are people intimidated by PC gaming and just want to put a game in and go, and not have to worry about crashes or incompatibility issues. But as we've seen with games such as Cyberpunk 2077, can't escape that even on consoles anymore. The Steam Deck helps alleviate these problems by the Deck verification process, allowing you to stick to games that are only Deck verified to work with your system. For those who want more of a console-like experience PC gaming, the Steam Deck is also the best device for you. For handheld gaming enthusiasts, this is a great addition to your collection, as well as being a great emulation machine. A better online experience is also a huge reason to get the Steam Deck, as Steam is one of the best online interfaces, it's free, and better than what you're paying for on the Nintendo Switch. I think those are all the reasons someone would want to pick up a Steam Deck, making its audience a bit conflicting with the Nintendo Switches. People often buy Nintendo consoles because of their exclusives and the price point. The Switch is widely available in stores and parents can get their children them as presents, and it's very hard to compete with that. I think most people who are interested in the Steam Decks are a fan of the Switch, as the same appeal lies in both. Neither will replace the other, but I do find it odd that people ignore all these points and say they do not compete with each other at all. There are going to be cases where someone can only pick up one due to budget constraints, and we'll have to weigh the pros and cons of both to come to that decision. That is my Steam Deck audience analysis. If you like this video, consider subscribing. Thanks for watching.